The sandwich generation is taking on more responsibility than ever as their parents advance in age. It's one thing to take care of an aging loved one, it's another to jump through all those legal hoops. And continuing our Parenting Our Parents series, Maureen Kyle joins me now with what legal documents could make the world of difference. Maureen.
And Mark, this is so key. As I've talked to different families and agencies this week, there's a consensus on one thing. You are never prepared to lose a loved one or see one of your parents fall gravely ill, but there is one way to prepare, and that's by lining up all those legal documents.
When you're a caregiver, you're stepping into a world that you know nothing about.
Jane Ositkowski's world changed when her mother Stephanie started to live with her.
Oh gee, there's no typical day.
Every day, every activity has its challenges. But Jane has the peace of mind knowing legally they have their affairs in order.
I forgot now what precipitated that discussion at that time, but we decided that that would be a very good thing to do. In 1995, that was way, way, way back. Mom was healthy.
Jane and her mother worked out a living will, an end-of-life will, and most importantly, a durable power of attorney.
That's a document under which you are appointing individuals to make those decisions in the event that you're unable to do so.
A state attorney, Bob Higgins, says when it comes to the caregiver, that might be the single most important document. It allows a caregiver to make medical decisions and property decisions.
For example, I have a client now who unfortunately is going through a guardianship with their father. This is a very expensive and time-consuming process at probate court, and unfortunately the client found out after the fact that had her father simply done a durable power of attorney for health care and a durable power of attorney for property, this entire process could have been avoided.
In the case of having to dispose of my mother's property, I took her to live with me, but you have to think about that when you take your mom or dad in. Unless they've made some other arrangement, how are you going to sell their property?
For Jane, who has enough to worry about in a day, getting paperwork in order isn't a concern.
I tell Mom now, all we have to do is just enjoy every day. You know, we took care. It's off the to-do list.
Yeah. Jane also says she's gotten all of her own documents in order. This experience has made her realize all of those loose ends that can really go untied, they'll eventually become another loved one's burden. So the documents to make sure that you have in order, again, are the living will, a last will, a durable power of attorney, and any special funeral requests, Mark.
Boy, you know, and it seems like at one point it was just got to have a will, but this seems like it can be kind of overwhelming between decisions and paperwork that all go along with this.
You know, it's been interesting. Being a caregiver definitely has its stresses, but as we've gotten feedback during this series and I've talked to different families, the emotional toll definitely seems to be the worst. And tomorrow we're going to hear from a couple of different caregivers about the emotions that come up and how to handle them, because that seems to be one of the biggest issues, Mark.
Very important information, because these are the people that took care of you for your entire life, and now the roles have completely reversed, and it's difficult. Okay, Maureen, thank you very much.